television.
Snowflakes rolling over my
Greetings, I'm your Glenn Beck of Career Music DeLong Wannabe, and welcome to the Switcheroo. Now, after looking at so much metal the past few episodes, I need to take a chill pill. I need to lay back and breathe in the fresh air while frolicking in the daisies. I need to listen to the wonderful sounds of Blind Melon.
All I can say is that my life is pretty plain. Don't you know that I like watching the puddles gather rain?
Yeah, remember these guys? Blind Melon was an American rock band from Los Angeles, California who gained commercial success in the early 90s thanks to their neo-psychedelic take on the genre. Headed by Shannon and Hoon, these guys were the ultimate hippies of the Generation X period. When you think of the early 90s, you think of this, or this, but not these laid-back, high-voiced, philosophical goofs. Although technically I don't see them as goofs, I see them as a band who fell from greatness due to a horrible mishap, but I'll get into that later.
No, I like to keep my cheeks dry today. Well, for $135 a ticket, you should be able to distort whatever it is you want to distort.
I first discovered Blind Melon when I downloaded their infamous song No Rain off of LimeWire because the site labeled them as grunge. They were obviously wrong and I no longer took their genre labeling seriously. But after listening to the song a couple of times, I decided to check into their other work. This led me to discovering their debut album and the others that followed. Now, Blind Melon had much success during the 90s. They performed at Woodstock 94, you know, the less interesting one, released a live album, and left an impression on many people's hearts. Kids still yearn for that innocent passion Shannon Hoon's voice gave to everyone. Born September 26, 1967, Shannon was raised on a steady diet of the Beatles, the Grateful Dead, and Led Zeppelin. Hoon rubbed elbows with music icons pretty early in his life. He once befriended a friend of his sister who then invited him to sing backup vocals for a couple songs on his band's upcoming CD. That friend? Axl Rose. He met his future bandmates at a party in Los Angeles and the group went on to call themselves Blind Melon. Rumors tell me that they supposedly named themselves after a character in a Cheech and Chong album. Shannon was a very soft soul with an overwhelming cup of things to say. His music allowed him to pour his heart out to the crowds to bring peace to those who needed it.
I think that for anybody who thinks that it's a very glamorous life, if they could have witnessed the insides of this place, I think that they would have probably had a different thought about taking that road.
So by listening to what they're saying on the news and on the radio about this little get-together we're having here, they're telling me that all you people have really distorted behavior.
We'd like to say goodbye to Kurt Cobain.
Learning about this man was quite a treasure because he was such a peaceful individual. However, like all of us, he wasn't perfect. The band went through many rough patches with Hoon due to his drug and alcohol problems. He went through numerous stints to kick the habit, but he just couldn't grab a hold of himself. Sadly, Blind Melon's career hit the rocks when Shannon was found dead in their tour bus on October 21st, 1995. The cause of death was a heart attack from a cocaine overdose.
As we sit here in this misery, you know, I don't think that I'll ever feel colder than I feel in here.
Blind Melon disbanded soon after. However, years later, a new light was shown on the group. They were formed after much thought, thinking they could jam once again. They found a singer who they hoped could bring the mellowness and down-to-earth feeling that Shannon Hoon would be proud of. Their choice of voice? A musician by the name of Travis Warren.
All the time that he served shattered all his nerves, left a little shrapnel in his knees.
Formerly of Rain for Rent, Travis Warren was a young talent with a smoky voice who was picked up by the band in 2006. They announced their reformation and released 3 single songs soon after. They began playing gigs again, and it seemed that Melon would stay. They even released an album with Warren entitled For My Friends.
When you fall back down and you lost your crown, get back up, walk around, turn that frown upside down.
However, in 2008, Warren announced his departure from the group. Except we can all ignore that last sentence because he returned to the group swiftly in 2010. The band has kept in contact with their fans saying Blind Melon would still play together, but there will be no plans for any future CDs currently. So it's good to know that this group is still together, but who is the better voice? Shannon and Hoon seemed to hone in on the carefree innocence we would all imagine belonging to Blind Melon. His voice built a safe little cocoon to shelter us from all the hate in the world. There's even a recording of him singing a song on Letterman the day Kurt Cobain died, dedicating the song to his memory. That is true beauty. His voice could go from that high-pitched coo we all admire to a rough jagged spear which could penetrate our personal shields. Travis Warren, on the other hand, has a soulful voice which drips meatiness.
I'll carve your name here in my chest. Kill for you, nothing less. I'll burn alive, no second thoughts. Just to hear your scratchy voice. Your scratchy voice.
His voice doesn't flow, but instead it erupts. A lot of fans of the group have stated that Travis wasn't a proper fit for the group. Checking out his solo work and what he's done with the band, I wouldn't really agree with those claims. Personality-wise, he fits the band great. He's a very classy guy with a caring persona which seems to resonate with everyone. He has the down-to-earth spirit I believe Shannon will be proud of. Voice-wise, I can kinda see where the haters are coming from. While Shannon's voice was a thin ribbon, Travis's voice is a rocky conveyor belt. Now, I don't consider that a bad thing. Travis's vocals had just as much emotion as Shannon's, but they're in a lower register. His brittle and, I repeat, smoky voice brings another level to the emotions he tries to convey. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's a misfire. I wouldn't say Travis is a terrible frontman. Nowhere near that. And I wouldn't say he's not deserving of Blind Melon. The band trusts him and resurrected their love of playing together with him as their new beacon of light. That only means they saw something truly great with him. But when I compare the two, yeah, I do prefer Shannon. It's hard to recapture that certain essence the man breathed. His loving chords gave Melon their stamp on the popular culture. Travis does keep the band working and I really enjoy his solo work. He's a talented man with so much to offer, but he's no match for the Hoon. So, for this switcheroo, I raise my glass to the memory of Shannon Hoon and thank him for all the work he gave us. As for Travis, thank you for your service, and I wish you a bountiful career. May the Blind Melon live on. I'm DeLong Wannabe, and remember, if it's current mainstream music, I am almost always bound to hate it. This has been the Switcheroo. Thanks for watching.